Hello, and welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Ashley.
And our podcast is all about talking about our love of Tolkien stories and maybe introducing or helping you through some that you might have missed.
This season, we are covering the Unfinished Tales, Tolkien's extended version / alternate universe / deleted scenes of a lot of the stories from the Silmarillion, plus some bonus content that didn't quite work with the Silmarillion narrative flow.
So, whether you've read every book cover to cover, or you're just here because you're curious about Tolkien's other works or had a hard time reading them, all are welcome.
Now let's dive into the Unfinished Tales.
Woo!
Let's go!
Let's go! Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, too.
Guys, this is how much we love you all, that we are recording on Mother's Day because we also love doing this, but it is our gift to you all on Mother's Day that we are recording.
Yeah.
We were just talking because it's early for us for recording in the day, so we just got finished having breakfast with our families, and I had pancakes. My family made me pancakes, which is one of my favorites. And what did you get?
I got French toast and bacon, which is like my favorite.
You didn't tell me about the bacon.
I know. And Nate's like super good. Like it's this way. I like it soft, chewy, but not floppy. And there's a fine line of that. Also, speaking of Mother's Day, go ahead.
Yes. I was going to say, I love a crispy. I love it crunchy.
Yeah, I know you love a crispy. Yeah. I told Lizzie that I wanted to share with you her All About Mom card that she wrote me from school, as long as you promise not to tell anyone. But I'm telling everyone.
Going to share it on
loophole.
A platform that a lot of people will hear.
But as long as you're not telling anyone, then you still remain her favorite auntie.
I promise.
Do you promise to, Oakley?
Sorry. It is Mother's Day, so you're just going to have to be okay with my tiny children being in the background.
And now mine too.
Okay.
Now get in your cave, little girl.
Did she make the promise?
Yes, she made the promise.
Okay, I want to see it, Lizzie. I want to hear what you wrote.
Oh, you don't want to read it?
First, tell her the consequence.
Oh, if you tell anyone, you will no longer be her favorite auntie.
She had a
high
consequence preloaded for me. Wow. Okay.
Do you agree to the terms?
Yes, I agree to the terms and conditions. I've read the contract. I've signed my initials. It's been notarized. Okay, it's a beautiful picture of hand-drawn little bouquet of flowers. Very cute.
Okay, so how about I read the prompt thing and then you read what you wrote there. So, all about mom. Let me tell you about my mom. My mom is
36 years old.
She likes to
relax.
The best thing she cooks is
stew.
Her favorite food is
mashed potatoes.
Her favorite thing to do to relax is
sleep or play video games together.
We like to
snuggle
together. She is really good at
organizing things.
As you can see, my mom is special because
she edits her podcast really good.
Oh, it's true. It's true. She's so good at that, Lizzie. She's pretty much the best.
And I made my own flower bouquet.
Oh yeah, she before you put the earbud in, she talked about that.
I saw that. That's so good.
Okay, hold on. I want to show her one thing real fast. Can you see the mashed potatoes?
Mashed potato.
That's a very good. That's very good.
I think it's okay.
MASHPOTOS.
P-O-T-S.
I love it.
P-O-T-S.
Well, I need the earbud back, little girl.
No, I'm taking it.
Lizzie.
I need it.
No, you don't.
I need it.
Okay, say bye, Auntie. All right. Joys of motherhood, right? Okay. How have you been, Abby?
There's a lot of children in my room. Sorry, my son tried to give me a Mother's Day card just now and tried to put it with a piece of toast under the door like Nacho Libre.
Now read the card.
Okay, his card said, ooh, the toast is still warm. His card says, "Happy Mother's Day. I hope you like the toast. Big hug, little kiss, big hug, little kiss, little hug." From Not to Leave Her.
That's awesome, Fox. Nicely done. Nicely done.
That was from my big guy, my biggest tiny baby named Fox.
Always be a baby to me.
So, my youngest son, he has been so excited for today, for Mother's Day, like, it's like Christmas. He's like, because he brought
Oh,
home what he made me at school, and it's been in a bag like, on the mantle waiting to be opened, and he made grandma go take him to the store to get something, and he made dad take him to the store to get some he was so
that
excited,
is
like,
hilarious.
my front yard, I'm landscaping it a lot with, flowers and stuff, and so they've been choosing gifts that have been, like, really cute little, like, lawn ornament kinda things, and so today I
Mhm.
woke up and I'm like, "What's that in my yard?" And I go out and there was a little bunny statue, like a little stone bunny, and then these cute little frogs that they put around in, like, little spots in my yard that are, like, one's really fat, he literally looks like a baseball with eyes, and then another one's, like, more realistic, but Oakley was so and Fox were so excited to give me those today. I was like,
That's awesome.
and I do have to tell you, it is a little heartbreaking with your children getting older that my oldest is in middle school now, so they don't have the teachers helping them
Oh,
make Mother's Day gifts, and so I got really
macaroni
cute ones
necklaces and
from Oakley and Luna because their teachers did that for them, but my other one is too old to do that now.
well, you did just
I
get a card
I did. I did. Slid under the door with a piece of toast.
referencing one of your favorite movies.
It's true. I just have to tell you really quickly, it was really fun.
Mhm.
I just got to go to Universal Studios down in California,
Wait,
and
what?
yeah, it was pretty fun. With
Where
my
have you been?
dad.
What?
Yeah, with my
What?
dad
What?
and my sister. We got to go to Hogwarts, and we got to go to Super Mario World. That was really fun, and I wish you were there with me. I just had to tell you that because I wish
Well,
that you
since
could
I
have
didn't even
enjoyed.
know or was invited.
I just wish you were there because I knew you would have loved it, and it would have been fun to be there with you. But, oh no, she's got a mad face.
Take a recheck, I guess.
But I also wanted to tell you my souvenir that I brought back for the kids was a plushie piranha plant from Super Mario World, and
Yes.
I love it so much. And the kids have been enjoying playing with it, like, it's attacking everyone.
Well, I mean, unless you leave it be, then it has that little bubble. It goes me 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 me.
I know. Hey, me, 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 me. They also had plushie bombs that I also wanted to just chuck at my kids,
Ooh,
but
yes.
they they were not fitting in my suitcase, so had to keep it there, sadly.
Sadly. Well, that sounds like fun. I want to see all the pictures.
Yes, I will send you pictures. But, okay, I feel like I haven't talked to you about this stuff in a long time.
I
And it
know.
being Mother's Day, is there any Mother's Day, like, good mother stuff happening in this episode? No? Okay, darn.
No.
Darn it.
Yeah, I was even thinking about that. I was like, could this episode coincide with the good Mother's Day vibes? And I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you'll be happy to know we are finishing Aldarion and Erendis. I feel like we have been.
That's my Mother's Day gift.
That's your
That's
Mother's Day
what it
present.
is.
Okay, so how much do you remember of last episode?
I just remember that there was a lot of back and forth of if they were gonna actually help in Middle Earth.
So that was like the episode before.
Oh,
So
that
this
was
was like,
wait, no, 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 wait,
I
wait.
know, the
What am
further
I
course of the
forgetting?
narrative.
What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting.
He becomes
Oh, wait.
king.
It was oh, yes, he does become king, and, what was it?
He immediately goes back to Middle
As
Earth.
soon as he becomes king, he's like, "See ya," and he,
Yeah.
like, goes back to Middle Earth, and then, like, he's like, "I don't care about tradition of everything, and I don't care about, like, the values of my people or whatever.
Mhm,
I'm going back to
mhm.
Middle Earth," where it reminds me of the part in, You've Got Mail. "This place is a tomb. I'm going back to
Yeah,
the nut store where
nut
it's
house where it's
fun."
fun, yes.
Yeah, that's
I love
him.
that actor so much.
Yeah, that's him
Mhm,
leaving,
mhm,
Numenor to go to Middle Earth.
mhm.
Um, and he has like a settlement by there's like a port area, right? Where he has like a
Yep,
settlement. But wasn't it getting like ruined by like
yep.
the ocean or something? But
Yeah,
that
he
one was
kept
the only
trying to
one
maintain
that's
it. Yeah.
but that one's the one that like actually stuck around, I guess. But no, no, no.
Yes, because later
Yeah.
it would be used as like a already pre-made parking spot for another
Do you guys
Numenorian king who
ballet?
was gonna help against Sauron. So, that
Mm.
worked out.
And then I remember that, like, because he was gone from Middle Earth, they're like, "Who's gonna be our king from Middle Earth?" And they didn't they or, a Numenor, and didn't he want that, like, his best friend, that other sailor guy to do it?
The
And then it
sailor
was like
guy's dad, yeah,
yeah, like
Halatan.
yeah, and then they have what is it called? And he's, like, the one that kinda just doesn't really go with the flow, right? Like, he's, like,
Yeah.
the one who, like, stands out of against, like, the unanimous vote of things,
Yes, which is probably why Aldarion may or may not have appointed him. There's conflicting lines of that.
but he's, like, kind of like
The regent.
the prime minister.
Yes.
He's the prime minister of the Numenor.
And then we talked a little bit about Encalame, how she was raised very differently with Erendis and then very differently with Aldarion, and how she didn't really like the idea of arranged marriages
Mm.
and was just kind of weird about marriages and an idea that didn't make sense to either of us.
I think weren't we saying that, like, they were allowing people to get married for love, but she was, not wanting that or something like that? Like,
She was just
she wanted the
against
opposite?
arranged marriages,
Oh,
which that wasn't even what her parents' marriage was. So,
maybe
yeah, I don't.
that's what she thought because she's like, "They hate each other so much, maybe they didn't want to get married in the first place, and they were made to get married."
I'm pretty sure everyone tried to talk them out of it, to be honest. They
I
had
don't know
all
if
the
you guys are
signs
a good
pointing.
match.
Yeah. But daddy, I love him.
No, it's more of like, do you like have you've seen who he is. You still wanna go through with it? Okay. It's on you
Yeah.
then, I guess.
Yes. Okay, so we have been in Numenor with Aldarion and Erendis for so many episodes. I just have a quick note that I wanted to add from the introduction of the Unfinished Tales. I kind of forgot that Tolkien did that. So he has like this little intro of each section, but it's at the beginning of the book. And then it goes into the different sections. It's really kind of confusing, but I forgot to do that for this
He should have
particular section.
separated
I'm
it
sorry.
into each section, like his intro to
Exactly.
each one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read something that he wrote in the intro. Quote, this story was left in the least developed state of all the pieces in this collection, and as a story unique in its content among my father's writings, persuaded me that it would be wrong to omit it from the collection of unfinished tales.
So, it was his kind of like didn't put much effort into it?
I think he kept picking it up and putting it down. But yeah, never, maybe this was more like he had bullet points where other people might have had more of a few
Paragraph?
chapters here of yeah, a paragraph here, a paragraph there. And because among the mainly plot outlines and notes corresponding timelines, there wasn't a full narrative written. Even the title of the manuscript changed over time. We know this section as Aldarion and Erendis, the Mariner's Wife. But other titles used were The Shadow of the Shadow, The Tales of the Mariner's Wife, and The Tale of the Queen Shepherdess, or The Mariner's Wife, A Tale of Ancient Numenor, which tells of the first rumor of the shadow.
Wow, those are long names.
I know, right? I just thought it was worth mentioning now that we know the majority of the story, how the tale of this couple wasn't even the main plot point that Tolkien wanted to push. As it sounds, it was more like he was interested in laying the groundwork of the shadow that would be coming, as Sauron.
Oh. He's like, "I actually wanted this tiny story to be, like, the filler to
Yes.
the main story of that Sauron's coming back, but it got away from me. The
Yeah.
sad story, the sad marriage got away from me, and I had to get it in detail of how depressing it was.
Mhm. Oh, it's
Thanks.
about to get real worse.
Oh,
Um, okay. Well, we're gonna start with Encalame. So not too bad. So Encalame learned all of that from her mother, and while her father wasn't quite around to teach her anything quite that impactful, she did inherit quite a few things from him. She learned the man-hating, the stern, the kind of, I don't want to say pious because that doesn't sound like she was religious, but it just very strict maybe aspects of life. But as far as Aldarion's legacy that he passed down to her, and Calumet is described as, quote, resolute in pursuing her policies, and like him, she was obstinate, taking the opposite course to any that was counseled. And deep in her heart, almost but not quite forgotten, was the firmness with which Aldarion had unclasped her hand and set her down when he was in haste to be gone. Do you remember that
oh.
scene? When
Yes.
he, like, yeah, yeah. So, a bit of, unresolved trauma there. Again, what if, Middle-earth and Numenor now too had therapy?
Remember when you abandoned me?
Yeah,
That was great. Love
yeah,
that for me.
yeah. So definitely contrary like Aldarion, very stubborn, but yeah. I maybe not as selfish as Aldarion because of the trauma of Aldarion's selfishness, if that makes any sense.
Sorry, that was just a
It
really sad quote from the book.
I know.
Remember when he, like, ripped his hand out of yours, like, "Get off me.
Mhm.
I've gotta go." Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And on my birthday. Wasn't it on her birthday too?
Oh, it wasn't it her, like, 4th birthday or something? Like, something like
Yeah,
a
like real young.
uh, uh,
So it
eh,
doesn't talk a lot about any specific interactions Aldarion had with Encalame after he was crowned king. In fact, it says that he mainly treated her with deference or, just kind of respect, but maybe indifference would be another way of putting it. But in the 18 years afterwards, he was gone a lot from Numenor, which is when she would come to Armenelos. And this was mainly due to Aldarion's mother, Queen Almerion, who saw in Encalame the same spirit as Aldarion had in his youth, and she would indulge in Calamay as she had Aldarion back then.
okay.
At first, time in Armenelos was hard for Encalame. Like I brought up before, being trained your whole life that men are the worst and growing up in a quiet, kind of pastoral setting, and then going to a crowded royal city like Armenelos with a bunch of loud noises and men everywhere had to have been startling. Eventually, she did get used to it and, quote, became aware that men looked with wonder upon her beauty, now come to its full.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Man can be useful in making me feel
Yeah.
good.
Oh, he cute. Okay.
Yeah. It is said, quote, as she grew older, she became ever more willful, and she found irksome the company of Erendis, who behaved like a widow and would not be queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. It doesn't define how many years growing older was, but from the context, like, she's obviously a teenager, right?
Yeah.
So her going back and forth to Armenelos, to Emoriae, it says it was mainly to annoy her father, but I also think it would have annoyed Erendis too.
Oh, she's a rebel girl.
Yeah. Quote, she was clever and malicious and saw promise of sport as the prize for which her mother and her father did battle. So
Oh,
she literally was like egging the contention between her parents on, which,
whatever. I'm gonna go to dad's house. He lets me do
yes,
whatever. Oh
yes.
my gosh. That's really funny.
Yes, but also cry for attention is,
Mhm.
a thought in there. But also, yeah, probably super annoying and you wanted to, slap her a little bit, I'm sure. We do finally get a date and an age for Encalame as we reach the year 892, which means that Encalame is 19 years old. And this is an important date in her life as she is officially proclaimed as the king's heir. This was done at quite a bit earlier than your standard heir proclamation, but since When has Aldarion done anything by the rules? He was named heir when he was like, I wish I knew this off the top of my head, but later in life.
Okay.
So you might be wondering, how could a girl be named the king's heir if there hasn't ever been a ruling queen of Numenor? Literally, Aldarion's aunt would have been next in line, but because Numenor didn't have queens, she had to marry someone else, and that's how Menelor became king, because Menelor wasn't the first child. So this hasn't
Mm.
been a thing yet in Numenor. So Aldarion took care of that by changing the laws of succession due to the following explanation. Quote, for reasons of private concern rather than policy, and out of his long resolve to defeat Erendis, at least he was
Jeez.
honest about it.
This sounds like a Judge Judy, like, court
It's
show
so
that's like,
bad.
dang.
Yeah. So, this new law of succession basically stated that the eldest child of the king, whether they were a male or a female, would receive the scepter and rule Numenor. So, it really is to spite Erendis. Erendis didn't want to be queen. I mean, how did you not know that that was part of the deal when you married the king's heir?
Like a prince,
But yeah, but she didn't want to be queen even when Aldarion was king. Um, and I don't think she wanted that for her daughter either. So Aldarion making her the princess is like, yeah, further adding to the contention. Yeah.
What kinda Jerry
The
Springer
count,
show is this?
I know. Now, you might be wondering what the council thought about this because the council's full of men, of course. They didn't actually hate this new law, but they did want to add that, quote, she was free to refuse. So, this is a very important distinction because here we have a footnote from Christopher stating that a male heir could not refuse the scepter. His only choice was to accept the scepter and then immediately resign the scepter to the next male in line. If
Oh.
Encalame were to refuse the scepter and want to resign it or had died without an heir, it would pass to a character we haven't talked about in quite some time. I asked you to remember his name, but you might have forgotten it, but you also might have remembered it because it was such an odd name. It's like one of the most least Middle Earth sounding names.
Didn't it sound something like Western or something? That
Yes. Yes.
I was like, "What the heck is that?" I
Uh-huh.
don't remember. All I remember, it
It's
sounded Western
Yep.
and
You want to know why it sounds Western? Because it
huh.
sounds like Tonto,
Oh.
and you're thinking Lone Ranger.
Tonto. Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, it ended with an
Saronto.
O. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was weird.
Saronto, who was
Saran
Encalame's cousin, Aldarion's sister's son. The council also added a caveat that if a female heir didn't get married after a certain amount of time, she would have to resign the scepter.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. And on top of that, Aldarion decided that he wanted to add his 2 cents in here because, while he was there on Numenor for like 2 seconds, might as well, have some fun decreeing something. And says that if a female heir were to marry, that they would have to marry only from the line of Elros. Why do you think he
Uh,
did this? Quote, it is
uh,
said that this ordinance arose directly from Aldarion's disastrous marriage to Erendis and his reflections upon it. For she was not of the line of Elros and had a lesser lifespan, and he believed that therein lay the root of all their troubles.
that's what he's blaming
That
it
was the
on?
problem. Yeah. If it
Wow.
hadn't been for that, like, not even close. What's the
Wow.
word I'm looking Oblivious. Very
Yeah,
oblivious.
denial.
Denial, yeah. Aldarion did very slightly redeem himself as after it became apparent that Encalame didn't really want to marry or resign the scepter, he would later rescind the law that said that a female queen would have to either marry or resign. But the bit he added about having to marry the line of Elros definitely stayed because, that was the part most important to him.
Don't ruin your life like I did, girl.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's them
So here we
commoners. It's them. It's those what would you call, like, those short timers, that's what we'd say.
yeah.
They don't live as long as us, and that's the problem.
And that was the whole reason. If it
Yeah,
hadn't
that was
been
it.
yeah,
This marriage would have been better.
yeah. It's like the uncle in Napoleon Dynamite.
I could have gone to state, and then my life would have turned around.
Yep. But, like, that being, like, your whole personality, like
Yes.
so, here we have in Calumet, a beautiful girl, heir to the scepter, needing, quote, unquote, "a husband to wed." So, what's gonna happen?
What is that called? Defiant what is that term? That's like, if someone tells you to do something, you automatically like, "Well, I'm never gonna do that." Like,
Yeah,
uh, a defiance disorder
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, suitors began making their advances to Encalame.
Ugh.
It's like the opposite of the Pride and Prejudice quote, like a single man with a fortune must be in want of a wife. Instead, it's a single woman, heir to the throne of Numenor, must be in want of a husband.
That's exactly what you want.
And it wasn't just the scepter crown they were after, though. Quote, the fame of her beauty, of her aloofness and disdain, and of the strangeness of her upbringing had run through the land. So she wasn't like your average lady of the court. She was interesting. She was different. She was the opposite of all the other women in
She's
Armenelos.
different.
Yeah.
She's different
She,
from the other girls.
yes. For some reason, different is good this time. Most of the time, it means bad. But
Yes.
here it's a source of fascination, I guess. And she even got the nickname Emerwen Aranel, or the Princess Shepherdess. I can't decide if she liked that nickname or if it was meant as a compliment, because I could totally see the other ladies of the court jealous of all the attention she was getting, giving her that nickname, but in like a mocking way. Like the
Mm.
Princess Shepherdess, I hope you don't smell all that sheep dung like that's trailing behind her.
Cinderella.
Yes, yes. Do you need a staff or a scepter there,
You smell like
princess?
sheep.
Yeah. They just, like, bat at her at her when
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
walking by. Either way, these suitors were just getting so persistent that Encalame had to escape from Armenelos. She needed a break. Now, she could just escape to Emirae, but her mother was there, who she was getting annoyed with. Plus, the suitors probably could figure out that she was going to go there. So, instead, she enlists an old friend of ours, Zamin, the boisterous old lady who put
Lady Cluck.
Lady Cluck, who put Ebal and Aldarion in his place. With the help of Zamin, she lives in hiding at a farm near Hyara Storni, which happened to be Halatan's lands. It was the perfect place for her to just hide and hang out with her friends, the sheep.
Uh, side note,
Side note.
I went and saw that Sheep Detectives movie last night, the one with,
Was it good?
oh my gosh, it's
Yes.
so cute. You need to take your mom. It's really cute.
Okay.
She'd love it.
Okay.
She'd love it. Your
Okay.
mom and dad would love it. But it's
Okay.
just to let you know, it will make you cry. But
No!
yeah. But it made me
Okay,
wanna,
fine.
like, go hug a sheep really badly.
Well, quote, the accounts, which are indeed no more than hasty jottings, vary as to how her parents responded to this state of affairs. So, again, we're dealing with the scraps of paper that Christopher is finding and trying to make sense of these things. So, version 1 has Erendis actually knowing where Encalame was the whole time and even approved her actions of fleeing Armenelos and royal responsibilities. And as for Aldarion, he actually prevented people, including the council, to go out looking for her, quote, since it was to his mind that his daughter should act thus independently.
She's
Like,
Merida.
yes, it's what I would have done. Let's just be grateful she hates the sea like her mother. Like, at least she's gonna stay put somewhere. She's isn't gonna leave the island.
But there's one day where I don't have to act like a princess.
Yes.
She's remind me of Merida where she's like, "The suitors are coming," and she's like, "No!" And then she, like,
Yeah.
keeps running away.
Mm-hmm. So, version 2 of this has Erendis frantic about Encalame's disappearance. Aldarion is just angry about it. Erendis actually considers reconciling things with Aldarion for Encalame's sake. I know.
Wow.
Quote, but Aldarion was unmoved, declaring that the king had no wife, but that he had a daughter and an heir.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah. Plus, he refused to believe that Erendis didn't know where Encalame was, so he wasn't falling for it.
But she did though, right?
In this version, no.
Oh.
The other version, yes. Yeah, that's the confusing part about this section is that, like, we have version 1 and version 2. Who knows? We could have gone either way.
Okay.
Okay, now here we get to perhaps my favorite little story in this whole Aldarion Erendis section. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
And Calame is in hiding as a shepherdess, just minding the sheep and living life. And eventually she fell in with a shepherd by the name of Momendil, sorry, or devoted to sheep or sheep friend. I mean,
Sheep friend.
I know. So how could she not like this guy, right? Now, the life of a shepherdess is a solo one, so Calame didn't have much company, plus she had never met a man quite like this guy before. And do you know what the attribute she likes most about this guy?
What? What? It's gonna be cute.
He sings.
Oh! Does he sing to his
Quote,
sheep?
um, and her. Quote, he sang to her songs that came out of far off days when the Edine pastured their flocks in Eriador long ago, before ever they met the Eldar.
Maybe okay, this is really random, but I think that maybe did he base this character off, like, a Welshman? Like, they
Oh,
sing and,
probably.
like, they have a lot of sheep over there. Ah!
Mm-hmm. I bet. That's a great I didn't even think of that, Abby. I love it. And then he would also sing to her like old love songs where he would change the names to be Emerwen, which was her undercover name, and Mamandil.
Oh.
Like, so
Oh.
smooth. So freaking smooth. Quote, and then Calumet feigned to not understand the drift of his words.
She's playing
Like,
hard to
oh, that's so
get.
weird that it rhymes.
Yeah.
So she's playing the hard to get game, but after some time, he eventually declared his love for her openly because he was probably tired of her not responding to all of his hints and he wanted a direct answer. So, quote, she drew back and refused him, saying that her fate lay between them.
Oh,
Like,
she
I
friend zoned
can't.
him? She friend zoned him!
Nope. She
Oh.
confesses to him that she's actually the heir of the king. I'm in Calumet, so they can't possibly love each other and get married, of course, because, she has a fate that lay between them. She can't marry just like a simple cheap friend. She has to marry someone of proper class and of the line of Elros and all that. And Momendil, he just starts laughing and then confesses to her that Momendil, okay, I'm just making sure I'm saying it right because it sounds funny, isn't his real name either. His real name is, in fact, Halakar, which possibly means high helm, possibly. And he is a son of a man we know well at this point. He is one of Halatan's sons. And guess what? He is actually from the line of Elros.
Oh! It's meant to
I
be. It's meant to be.
know. And then he says one of my favorite lines, quote, and how else could any wooer find you?
Oh.
Like, how else could those other suitors find you? Found you because you were literally on my father's land anyway. I knew you liked sheep, so I just took on the role of sheep friend, and we fell in love. I mean,
He put in the effort.
he did. He did. So this means that they can be together. She at the very least likes him. He loves her. He's of the line of Elros. He's got good standing being the son of Halatan. Perfect. However,
Oh. Yeah, she's gotta ruin it somehow.
yes, this is Encalame, daughter of Aldarion. So of course she can't react in any rational way. In fact, she is pissed that he lied to her and tricked her and knew who she was the whole time.
Ah.
She cannot get over that. It is like a pride thing now. So Mamandil / Halakar replies, quote, that is true in part. I contrived indeed to meet the lady whose ways were so strange that I was curious to see more of her. But then I loved Emerwen. I care not now who she may be. Do not think that I pursue your high place, for far rather would I have it that you were Emerwen only. I rejoice but in this, that I also am of the line of Elros, because I deemed that we could not wed.
Huh.
He's like, I love you for you. I fell in love with this sheep friend that you are as well. I don't want to be king or to, have any royalty. I don't love you for that. I love you for who you are right now. Isn't that so sweet? This is a proper man right here who knows how to win a lady properly. But
He's trying real hard. He put in the effort.
he did. And Calumet is still pissed off. So she replies, quote, we could, if I had any mind to such a state. I could lay down my royalty and be free. But if I were to do so, I should be free to wed whom I will. And that would be Uner, which is no man, who I prefer above all others. It was a
Who the heck
weird
is
thing
that
that he
guy?
put Uner. It literally is no man, like Noman.
So she'd
So
just be
she would,
a spinster?
yes, yes. It was a weird way to say it. So I had to, yeah. So I should be free to wed whom I will, and that would be no one, who I prefer above all others.
Okay.
Might as well, yeah. In her pride, because he tricked her, maybe they could have, I don't know how else he would have won her heart, though. Like, if he was going to win her heart, this was the best way that any suitor could have won it. And she's like, nope, you lied to me. Oh, betrayal.
I'd rather marry no one now.
Yeah. Eventually, she would take these words back and marry Mamandil or Halakar in the end. Now, this is for possibly like 3 different reasons because we have different versions here again. So, version 1 has Halakar not giving up on their love despite her rejection, plus the council pressing her to marry someone to keep the people happy. So, that route. Version 2 has Encalame's hand being forced to the decision because with her waiting so long to marry, her cousin, Saranto, the man next in line, asked her to surrender the heirship to him, and she wouldn't have that, so she just married Halakar to spite Saranto. Nope, anything with that.
Fine, I
I'd
guess
rather
I'll
marry
marry
this
you.
dude. Yeah. Version 3, after Aldarion had rescinded the law about having to marry or resign, she decided to get married just to dash Saranto's hope of becoming king if she remained childless.
Oh, a lot of spite happening in this.
Yes. What is known for sure is that Encalme didn't want to fall in love, get married, or even have a son for that matter, thinking that, quote, must I become like Queen Almerion, her grandmother, and dote upon him? Like, thinking, like, if she
Ah.
had a son, like, am I just gonna, like, end up being those moms that, like, love their kids? Ugh, gross.
That has to take care of them. Gross.
Yeah,
Boring.
yeah. And because of that mindset, Encalame did not enjoy her marriage to Halakar and reluctantly gave him a child that just so happened to be a son, who they named Anarayan, or Sun.
Sun, as in the thing in the sky, and
Yep,
son, like their child.
yes.
Okay.
Sun. And I just had the thought, I'm pretty sure Anarayan is already, yep, Anarayan is Isildur's brother. I just remember
That's what
that.
I thought. I
Yeah.
thought he was
I'm like, how
he was,
about we
like,
already
in a
have a
bigger
son?
family.
Because
Yeah.
Isildur is like the moon one.
Isildur.
Yeah.
Pardon.
Devoted to the moon. Okay. So they fought continuously after his birth, and
So
Calumet
wait,
and
so
Halakar.
she's in Isildur's mom?
No,
No,
he
there's
was
another.
Anarayan. Yeah, that's like way down the line. Anarayan, her son, is maybe who Isildur's brother and Anarion was maybe named after, possibly.
And
And also, it's
is
not
she
a huge
related at
stretch.
all?
Yeah.
Like great-great-grandma
Um.
or something?
Well, so Elendil, who Isildur's dad. I mean, I could figure this out if you really want to know later, but I mean, he was through the line of Andunier, which means that is Aldarion's aunt, somehow in that realm there.
Okay. We'll figure it
So,
out.
yeah. And Calamay and Halakar had a disastrous marriage. They continued to fight after the birth because she claimed to be owner of Halakar's land, but she also forbade him from dwelling upon it because she would not be the wife of a farm steward, which sounds a bit hypocritical because she wanted to be a shepherdess. So,
Pick a lane, lady. What do you want to do?
yeah. Because of the bad taste she had for marriage, and Calumet even forbid her women, or like ladies in waiting, I'm assuming, to be married as well. But, and this is a funny story to me, in secret, Halakar arranged for a joint wedding to be held at a big feast in his house, which sounds deceitful enough. But then he also invited Calumet to it, saying it was like a goodbye feast because this was the house of his family. And if he can't live there and be, the farm steward anymore, that he's going to have one last hurrah before he, leaves for Armenelos. And so, and Calame's like, fine, as long as you're not living there anymore, I guess I'll go. And then when she got there, she found all of her ladies and then a bunch of men there as well. And Halakar, I'm sure quite enjoying this surprise, then said, "Come, the weddings are prepared and the bride chambers are ready. But since it cannot be thought that we should ask the lady in Calumet, king's heir, to lie with a farm steward, then, alas, she must sleep alone tonight."
Ooh.
Yeah, so,
Burn.
yeah, I won't say he's like the husband that it just has this love for her that's just undying. He's a doormat. No, he dished it out too.
Yeah.
But also good for him,
Ooh.
who likes a doormat. So she's there. She wants to leave because this is not the party she thought it was. This is clearly in defiance of what she had ruled that her women couldn't marry. But it was too far of a ride to go back to Armenelos by herself. And it was already late. So with the bride and grooms not willing to hide their smiles at the very awkward circumstances of this wedding, and Calumet decided, indeed, to spend the evening in her bed alone.
Oh, this is such a healthy relationship.
Yes. Quote, listening to the laughter far off and thinking it aimed at herself. Next day, she rode off in a cold rage, and Halakar sent 3 men to escort her. Thus he was revenged, for she never came back to Emirae, where the very sheep seemed to make scorn of her. But she pursued Halakar with hatred afterwards.
Generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just being passed down.
Yes. But I do think it's funny that her friends, the sheep, she now thinks are laughing at her. Like,
Oh,
they
sad.
would never, and Calumet.
Sad.
But it was just tied to that whole embarrassing, awkward situation. And so, Queen Shepherdess, she will be no longer.
Mm.
Aldarion, let's just go back to him for a minute. His tale ends with him returning to Middle-earth more than once while he was king, even leaving Calumet as regent a few times. His last voyage to Middle-earth would be around the year 900 or 999. Our last date given was 892 when Calumet was named heir, so who knows? That was like the last time stamp we had. But Calumet was named the first ruling queen of Numenor in the year 1075, and shortly after, Aldarion died in the year 1098. Doing what he loved, just going back and forth from Numenor to Middle-earth.
How old is he then?
Oh, I have this. I can pull it up real fast. He died pretty old. Darion, jerk face, selfish dad. Lived for 398 years.
Dang.
Wonder how. And Meneldur lived, just for comparison's sake, 399 years.
Oh.
So, quite the range. Now I'm on a roll. Ooh. And Calumet beat them both. She lived for 412 years.
Just out of spite. I'm going to beat those guys.
I am positive it was,
Oh, you men
spite-fueled.
dying in their 300s? Well, I'm going to die when I'm in my 400s.
I'm not sure if how many of you guys are aware of the Tudor history of time, but there is one queen, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head, who basically had to create all the rules for, Europe and the kingship because it wasn't really fine-tuned before then. And everyone hated her because she was so strict and she just was very, like, old-fashioned and she just was really mean. I think her name was I don't remember it off the top of my head, but, I think it was King Henry's mom, I think. Anyways,
Okay.
so it if I had to compare Anne Calumet in her older years, it would be that queen because she seemed to just be very strict and very mean. In fact, their son, Anarion, would become the next king of Numenor, but his daughters both hated and were terrified in Calumet. Unfortunately, they aren't important enough to get names. However, for reasons unclear, they both ended up refusing to be heirs, to which Calumet swiftly responded by not allowing either of them to marry.
Jeez.
Yeah, which I don't really get. Doesn't it just doesn't make sense. There is a version that the girls actually refuse the scepter, but who knows? I mean, it does kind of seem on track that, like, Erendis became more kind of bitter and spiteful in her old age, that Calumet is just kind of going down the same route. Luckily, Anarion at last had a son, and all was put right in the world as Surayan, son of wind, would become the next ruler after his father. So thank goodness that all worked out. Now, are you ready for the sad ending?
Because it's been so cheerful for the rest of it.
Oh, okay. The only one left in our tale that is left unfinished is Erendis. I'm sure you're wondering what happened to her. Do you have a guess?
It's gonna make us such a good Mother's Day episode.
No.
Oh,
It's
fine.
very sad and depressing. We should have done the
Perfect.
Mother's Day card afterwards to, like, bring back the mood. Are you ready?
Okay,
So,
I'm kinda
of
scared, but
Erendis, quote, "It is said that when old age came upon her, neglected by Calumet and bitter in loneliness, she longed once more for Aldarion. And learning that he was gone from Numenor on what proved to be his last voyage, but that he was soon expected to return, she left Emirae at last and journeyed unrecognized and unknown to the haven of Romena. There, it seems, she met her fate. But only the words Erendis perished in water in the year 985 remain to suggest how it came to pass."
she drowned?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. It's like she called it. It's like she said, "Hey, I don't like water. I don't
Yeah.
ever wanna be near water. It's terrifying and I hate it." Hmm. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
Ah, why couldn't she just died an old lady in her farmhouse in her bed, surrounded
Yep.
by her beautiful sheep? Wow,
I mean,
that's
yeah.
depressing. Does it say
Yeah.
how? What happened?
No, and that's the, like, kind of mystery to it is was it unaliving suicide? Sorry. I can't think of the other word for that, but, was it on purpose? Was it on accident? Like, she's
Self-inflicted.
there you go, thank you, sorry. Was it, an accident that she's, waiting somewhere and didn't know enough of the ship life to know that, "Oh, yeah, don't pull on that rope," or, "Hey, don't step there," and then she just fell in and drowned?
What if she was waiting on a cliff and she was looking out to see if she could see his ship one last time and she fell off and died?
Yeah, yeah, there's that too.
Oh my gosh.
Just waiting for Aldarion to come back, as was her, like, whole life, apparently.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Why did
Yeah,
what?
yeah, and
Tolkien,
that's
come on,
literally
man.
the end.
That's the
That's
last
literally how
part?
this whole section ends.
Oh my gosh.
What a sad, sad end to
Uh,
our tragic tale of Aldarion and Erendis.
I'm sorry. When you were saying before that this was supposed to be just like a side, like little filler story of like, oh, and then Sauron's like becoming big again in Middle Earth, like that would have been nice to just have like a little side story, but why did he have to make it so sad? Why did he have to make it so dark?
I don't know. And what's funny is, like, this was, like, after we were with Turin for, like, ever. Like, we couldn't have, like, one nice story after Turin.
No.
No,
No.
not
He
allowed.
saved all his good stories for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
And Baron and Luthien.
Even Baron Luthien was really sad.
But it had a happy ending. I
Okay,
will fight for
fine.
Baron and Luthien as the good story.
It's true.
I really want a
That
movie of it one day.
would be the
Anyways,
best.
yeah, Aldarion Erendis, so glad to be done with that. In case you're wondering what the next section is, because I'm sure you're
Uh,
wondering, and I've been trying so hard to figure out how to make it fun. I'm like considering skipping it, but I'd also that's mean. Like Tolkien wrote it for a reason. Like let's not just skip Tolkien things just because it sounds hard. I can do hard things.
it's
Um,
true.
but it's called The Line of Elros, Kings of Numenor. So it's almost like it's in the intro thing, it calls it a dynastic record. So it's like King Elros from this age to this age, and this is like the main summary of his life or his rule. Next king, this king to this king, main summary. I will make it so fun. I was like, what if I could only make it into a song like they do the presidents of the United States, but Kings of Numenor? But I'm not that creative.
I should send you there's a really funny version of that, but it's the Kings of England. It's pretty
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
Yeah.
I would love that. I like
Yeah.
English history.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it fun because honestly, that sounds a little,
Yeah.
uh, rough to
But
get
after
through.
that, the history of Galadriel and Celeborn. So light at the end of the tunnel, guys. Light at the
Yes.
end of the tunnel. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Um, so thank you for joining us on this very tragic and sad journey
I
to Middle
know.
Earth and Numenor. Don't forget to follow us at Sisters of the Shire podcast on Instagram. Feel free to comment.
Share
We're
with your
really
friends,
nice.
tag
Share
us
with your
and stuff.
friends. Yes. A big thank you to our patrons Dan, Kevin, Victoria, Avery, Ryan, and Anatar. I still want to know origin story.
I mean, they get
I
to
still
say
need to
they
know.
have the coolest sounding name. Sorry, Kevin, but and Dan
Why you gotta
and
call Kevin out like that?
I said and Dan,
Oh, okay.
and it's okay,
Well,
Kevin. We've got a lovely cousin named Kevin that we love a lot.
we do.
So
And Kevin's
we have a Kevin we
Scottish.
love.
So,
We have a
I mean,
Kevin we
anything he
love in
says
our
sounds cool.
lives. And you could also tag us in like your Instagram stories if you're listening to us, or tag us and stuff on TikTok and, spread the word that we're
Yeah.
here to help people who are trying to get through the Silmarillion and other Tolkien stories. That we're here to help.
Yes. We're here also for the deep cuts. Like, I worry sometimes that my content is a bit too deep on Instagram. Like, how many people actually remember who Meneldor is? But then I forgot who it was. I will find it and I will, like, bolden this somehow, like, highlight this person because it really made my day. Because, again, deep cuts here. But if you're listening to the podcast, it makes more sense, for what we're covering. But someone's like, yes, these are the deep cuts I follow your page for. I was like, thank you. I worry.
You get me.
You
Get
get
me.
me. Yes. So please, yeah, comment and help me remember what I do this for. I'm like segueing way off of our usual spiel here at the end. If you want to join our Patreon, we appreciate all of the help that you can provide monetarily or reviews or anything, sharing the word. You can go to patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire podcast. Another way you could help is leave us a rating or review. It really, really helps us out and helps with those funny algorithms that, rule our lives now. And Abby, it's
Algorithms.
crazy. No world news. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're just
They're
all
enjoying
out.
the sunshine. They're getting outside. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. But you can listen to us outside. I mean, I weeded for like 3 hours yesterday. My back is killing me, but I listened to a book the whole time.
Oh, I love listening to the 2005 Pride and Prejudice soundtrack while I'm in my garden and gardening. It's very fitting.
Ooh,
It's very fitting.
that is very fitting. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay,
Well,
that's all I got for you today.
thank you for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next time, I've been Abby. Oh my gosh, I need to go to
Oh,
bed or something.
imposter! Sorry.
I
Identity
do
theft
wonder
is not
though.
a joke, Jim.
Like, could people
It is
tell us
it's
apart
not a
though?
victimless crime.
What? I can't be Abby. I could be cheerful and like empathetic, and love trees and woodland
There,
creatures
one of my
too.
David Tennant, one of my favorite actors, whenever he is doing a interview with a co-star that he's with, he always says, and I like he was with like I don't know, Olivia Colman. He's like, "Hello, I'm Olivia Colman." And then Olivia Colman goes, "And I'm David Tennant?" And he does that with, like, every interview he's with someone else. He'll say the other person's
Well,
name.
then I meant to do that, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I am Ashley.
And I've been Abby. And first of all, happy Mother's Day.
Happy
I
Mother's
know that in
Day.
other countries, they celebrate it on a different day, but in, the US, today is Mother's Day! So happy Mother's Day to all who are celebrating, and, we hope you have a beautifully gorgeous day and you get spoiled. Thank you to our moms who we love so much
That
and
birthed this
that
genius and,
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
creatures.
it's true, it's true. And happy Mother's Day to you, Ashley. Your daughter is beautiful and talented and gorgeous
Oh,
and smart and hilarious, and
so
it's all
loud.
because of you guys. Um,
Just kidding. And same to you. I love all of your children. You're an amazing mom. You go above and beyond.
Thank you. I love my babies, and I love your babies.
I love your babies too.
And we are so happy that you guys joined us today, and we hope you can join us next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Thank you for teaching me a day.